with Premiere Pro. It's my mic.
Yeah, very little.
Very little. All right.
I've used it before.
I am going to show something. This is not something that you will encounter all the time, but just in case we get video from a vendor or anything like that, and it is too large, we can go ahead and make it smaller for a GIF. Not only that, but whenever we can make it smaller and render it for our site, because we always want to reduce like the size of the video. Also, whenever we get a GIF, now we are not going to be using GIFs. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using videos on our site instead of GIF. We had a conversation with IT and Amplience, and they came back to us letting us know that it would be best if we have video on our website instead of GIFs, because of how large they are and how Amplience can downsample or compress the video depending on the device or the view of the guest. And so GIFs, we cannot, there is nothing on Amplience that makes it smaller. So they would have to wait for it to load, and it takes a bit for a bandwidth for the user. So with that being said, let's get started. So let me go ahead and get let's see if on this site I can get some GIFs. So what I'm doing right now is I'm saving a couple of GIFs, and we're going to convert them into video.
Hey, Christine, are you
Yes.
able to record this training?
Yes, I am recording this training.
Perfect. Sorry, I just got in.
No worries. I'm actually recording this video because Diana let me know that some of you may be a little bit later, coming in later. All right. Okay, so I've downloaded 2 little GIFs, and I'm going to share my screen now. And I also have a video so that I can also show you how to make a video much smaller, just in case. I like to cover as much as possible, and sometimes we may not necessarily use it, but it is good to know that, oh, this is a program that I would need to use to do that if I ever needed to make a video smaller. All right, so here we go. Let me share. All right, so I'm sharing my screen now. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Premiere. If it opens, it is a big program, so it does take its time to open. I wish you could see it. It's still bouncing at the corner here. I think I'm asking too much from my screen. Oh, there we go. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a new project, and I am going to go and look for the asset that I want to cut, right? So I'm going to go in, I know I have it in downloads, and let's see how it's called. That one is called Santa in Blizzard, which I did not unzip. There you go. So it's called Crazy Santa. So I'm gonna look for Crazy Santa, and there it is, right? Because I know that it is in my downloads, and then I was able to search for the name. And so now this is Crazy Santa, and this is the what I want to use, right? So this is what I want to cut and create into a smaller video for our site. So then I'm going to name the sequence Crazy Santa. And then I usually name them or say, depending on the sizes or how long I want for it to be, I say that. So let's say 5 seconds. And then let's go up here, and you see in there a create. So I'm going to hit on create. Did I hit it? Yes, I did. And so it'll go ahead and create, and it'll look for all of the parameters for the size of that asset that I have. So I don't have to go in and, go up here into sequence and say that I have to create a new sequence or anything like that. All I have to do is just say what asset I am going to use. And Premiere goes ahead and does all of the parameters for me already. So then this is the clip that we have, and it's pretty long, right? So it almost looks like it's 10 seconds long. So all I want here from Crazy Santa is, as you can see, do you see my my mouse hovering, right? And so when I hover to the side, I can just drag and make it smaller, right? So I can actually make this smaller here. I can also cut. So on your keyboard, if you hit C, now I have this cut tool, and I can cut my the video. I also have V, so I can select my video and move it around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I can move with my 2 fingers on my trackpad on my computer, and I can make it bigger or smaller. But as you can see, if you don't have a track, you can also make it bigger here at the bottom. And you can then get really nitty-gritty on the timing, as you can see here. So now I have expanded the time, and I can really go in and select how much of this do I want to cut. And so I have from here to there is 5 seconds. So that's what I want, right? So I want 5 seconds, but I don't want these first 5 seconds. So I can actually go in and move or cut a little bit here and then say, okay, these are the 5 seconds I want. Boom, right there. He is coming in and just leaving. And so what I'll do is I'll cut it right there. And that's my 5 seconds. So now that I have 5 seconds that I want a video, now I need to export it, right? And so by exporting it, I can go to File, Export, and then I can send it to Adobe Media Encoder if you have Media Encoder installed. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to Media Encoder. And now Media Encoder over here on my corner, on the bottom corner, is jumping up and down. And it's getting ready. I have to wait a little bit. Is everyone getting what I've gone through so far? Any questions? Yeah? Pretty simple, right? All right, so now we have Media Encoder here, and I've opened it. And as you can see on my window, you can see the project. And the cool thing about Media Encoder is that you can select the type of format that you want for it to encode. So there's a lot of different things here that you can do a JPEG or a JPEG sequence if you want to do some really cool special effects and stuff like that. But this is where you would encode your video, right? And so you can also preview your video, right? So let me do fit so that we can see it. So we can, see it here. And let's say I like it, but then I want to cut it a little bit more. So let's say that I want to cut it right over there. I can still do that here, and I can just move this all the way to the back here, and then it'll just encode up to 404, right? Which is error, by the way. So I can do that on both sides, and I can cut it even more if I wanted to, okay? You can also change the width and the size here. Do make sure that it's linked, because if it's unlinked, it will resize, but it will change. It may change the parameters, and you guys know, you guys are designers. It may change the parameters so much that it may look wonky, right? It'll look stretched. All right, so then what we want to do is I want to H264 is video, and then I can select the type of video that I want, or the preset that I want. Is we have Vimeo, we have YouTube back down over here, Twitter. It's got all sorts of goodies here. So if you are a person that has to deal a lot with different social media platforms, it has a lot of different platforms here. And what you can do, let me cancel this. You can do is you can copy this. Oh, it's not letting me copy. I should be able to. Maybe I have to encode first and then I can copy it again. So let's see. Let's do a small quality so that it's much faster. So I'm doing a 720p HD high quality. Now what we will want is 1080 I think we want 1080 for the encoding that you're going to do from GIF to video. So we'll do high quality 1080, and then we're gonna let Amplience downsize it to 720 and then 480. So we won't have to do that. Okay, but I'm going to do 780 so that it's much faster right now. And so we're gonna hit OK. So we have it here. I can actually select and say where I want I'm gonna put it on downloads, and I'm gonna do Crazy Santa 5 seconds. Save, and then all I have to do is just hit on this play button, and now it's encoding. And you can see it here, encoding, and it's done. I can click on the output file, and it'll direct me right where I saved it. And I can then double click and play the Crazy Santa. And that is 5 seconds, right? All right. Everyone with me so far?
I think so.
All right.
Yep.
So let's say we need more of these. You can duplicate it, and you can then do another let's say we can do something like Twitter, right? And so it'll resize it, and it'll add the black because we don't have that sizing exactly for Twitter, right? But it will add the black. So do be careful with that when you are changing the sizes, right? Do make sure that it's not adding black, because it just doesn't quite look good, right? So if it's 740 by 740, then I would actually go into Premiere, do a 740 by 740, drop the video there, and then re-encode it. So we can do, let's say 420, not SD. Got Twitter. Oh, we have some mobile device here, so we can do mobile device 780. And as you can see, you see that it's adding the black here. We can say that, you know, like scale to fill, and this time I would do it because I know that my size is bigger, right? And it'll scale fairly easily. But you can also do some scaling here as well, or stretch to fill, right? And then we can encode. We can say okay. Change the name, because so I would, oh, what's going on here? Oh, I think my memory, I think this is memory here. My computer is going a little bonkers and is not letting me do this because my memory is running out. I have too many things open. Let's see. I don't need Premiere anymore, so I'm gonna quit Premiere, and let's hope that that gives me enough to do. No. Will it let me do this one? No. Okay. I'm gonna have to exit this out, and let's go back in to Media Encoder. All right, so let's see if it'll work now. There we go. Sometimes just close it and reopen it. So then here I would say, okay, so this one is for mobile. I would save it, my downloads, and then I would recode. And then it goes in. And now I have it. And so now I have Crazy Santa Mobile. And I have that size would be much smaller. And it's 60, I think this one is 16 by 9. All right, so you can see a little bit of the sizing difference there. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to create a GIF into a video. So I can delete these here. And I've got some GIFs here. So I have this GIF, and GIFs are, you know, what GIFs are. I'm sure that most of you know what GIFs are, which are different slides or different images creating motion, right? So I've got this GIF going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So we're going to drop that oh my God GIF into my encoder. And because I had parameters already set to video, it is already looking for video. But usually this would be animated GIF. This would be the animated GIF, and then animated GIF with transparency or without transparency. And in order to change that, we would go in and we would say, okay, so I want H264, which is video. And then I would want this video to be, this is really small. So I would go for something like a 480. Let's see. So like a 480. And then I'm seeing these kind of like black here. And so I would go scale to fill. And then I would hit OK. And now I can encode to an MP4. So then I would hit the play button, and now I have the MP4 here. And so now it's a video. Any questions? Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to do it again. I have this wow GIF here, and you can see it playing over here. And we want this to also be, let's delete that, a movie. So we're going to drop it in, right? You can also check the parameters. Sometimes it gives it, sometimes it does not. You can also see this GIF is really, really small, but we don't have a lot going on here. We have like, how many seconds? 1, 2, about 3 to 4 seconds in there. So then we're gonna go in again. And so instead of animated GIF, we would go to H264. And then we would change the preset, right? So hopefully we can do, you know, these GIFs that we're doing are big enough in Photoshop, because you have what is that called? You have control over those parameters in Photoshop. Are you guys doing your GIFs in Photoshop? Where are you guys doing your GIFs in?
I do Photoshop.
Photoshop? Okay, so you have the control of the parameters, right? Of the sizing of your GIF when you're creating it, right?
Yes.
So I would recommend doing a 16 by 9 cut. So like 1080, I would do, let's see what it, sometimes I have to consult with Grandpa Google here. And so, size, let's do size.
That's 1920 by 1080.
1820 by 1080?
1920 by 1080. It's 16:9.
969, perfect. So 19, drop that in our chat, Rodrigo. That is very
Sure.
helpful. And so we can use those parameters when we're creating our GIF, and then when we encode, then we would go in and encode for that preset. So then we would do, let's see if we have a 1920 you mentioned, right? Because what I see is 1080s here, which 1920 would be a 1080 across, right? That's how it works. Let's see. So then,
Yeah, if you use the 1080, it would be the 16 by 9.
perfect. So then I would do a high quality 1080. Let's see. There we go. So Vimeo, I like to encode in Vimeo. So, or you can do also YouTube, right? So you can do YouTube 1080p or Vimeo 1080p, and usually these will encode just a tad more because it knows that it's going online, right? So then we would do Vimeo 1080 full HD, and then that is scaling beautifully on 1080. It'll probably look very pixelated once we're done with it, and then we're gonna hit OK, and then we're going to hit the play button. It's gonna encode for us. We can go directly to it, and now we have a huge video. But as you can see how it's very pixelated because we are scaling up. And now we can play our GIF in video form. All right. Everyone with me?
Yep. Is there any way to change that pixelation? I mean, if we're doing a video of outfits or something, we're not going to want pixelated.
Correct. So that is very tricky to go from something very small to something, large. This is one of the reasons why I am suggesting to start off with the correct size on your Photoshop, where when you create, when you create your GIF, use the 1080 size or the size that Rodrigo sent us, and then when you are compressing the GIF or when you're creating the GIF on Photoshop, there are some okay, so let me go to Photoshop here. All right, so let's see here. All right, so this one of the last things that I was working on. Let's say that this is a GIF. Let's pretend that is a GIF. When you save your GIF, right, don't compress it, right? So don't go all the way, use all of the colors. Don't web snap. Let's see, we don't really need dither on this. So all of these things will actually start making the GIF much larger and larger because we're not compressing it, right? So web snap to 0, colors all the way to the most that you have or that is available. And this is fine because we don't want to restrict. So this, it all depends on how it looks, right? Here, I usually look for the color that I am kind of like desiring or think it's best. And then, of course, no copyright for mine. And then make sure that the image size has not been changed from your previous export here, and use the measurements that Rodrigo sent us. Let me see, where is that? Nope. I should be able to just double click here and it'll open. No, maybe.
So not all of our GIFs are the same size.
Okay.
Sometimes they're square, sometimes they're vertical, sometimes they're horizontal. It just depends on the images that we're using. So they all can't be 1080 by, whatever.
That is very...
If we're going to standardize them, then we need to come up with a standardized size.
Very good. Yes. I love that you brought this up. Because we do have different places where we can add a video on our site, and the sizes can change because we can make it very thin, or we can have it in between two images or four images, in between two images, because it would be three, or next to an image. So what I will do is I will send the sizes for those and where they would be allocated, so that it gives you a view of where we could have the video on the site, or where it would preview, and what size we would need that to be. Thank you so much, James, for bringing that up. So then once we are done here, we can hit done, and we would create the GIF. The important thing about creating the GIF is not to down sample or downsize the GIF here, right? So no web snap, and don't decrease the colors. Have the colors as much colors as you want. And so that way, and because you can snap, and what it'll do is it'll see how it distorts, because it's actually selecting fewer colors here as well. So these two are very important to have in 0 and 256. And then you can go ahead and save it. So you would go ahead and save the GIF. So let's save the GIF in downloads, and then this one is going to be called sample. All right, and so this size is not regular size video. And so with what James mentioned, if we're not doing a preset video, what we can do instead is, when we bring our GIF in, we will leave it at H.264, but then here we would do match to source, right? So match to source, high bitrate. And so that way it will take all of the parameters from our GIF. It will not change our sizing. The sizing will be the same as the GIF. And then you can hit OK and then export it. Everyone with me?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. That is what I wanted to teach for how to create GIFs into a movie. And we can go ahead and play this, but it's not gonna play. It's taking its time because it's large. But we can see here, and it's done. It's not gonna really play anything, but we can see how large our size, and it did not change the size of the GIF.
And Barbara, we're going to have the encoder installed in all of our computers.
Yes.
Yep.
And the encoder comes in with the Adobe Cloud, so it should already be included.
It's there, but it says install, so we would have to have administrator password to do that.
Okay. Is there any questions? Because I love that James had a question, because that kind of like pushed me to really think about, what if, creating a template for the different sizes that we will need for the site.
Again, Christine, I think once we jump in and start playing, there will probably be questions that will pop up.
Oh, of course.
And then it's very helpful that you recorded the.
Thank you, Diana. Yes, if at any point you are creating one of these and need a little bit of help or anything like that, just let me know and we can go over it together.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming into the tutorial today. Barbara, how long did we have for this class?
This was just a 1 hour period this morning.
Okay, perfect. So with this, I hope that everyone can create their GIFs into movies now. Usually you want to do the other way around, but in this case for our site, we need movies, because what we're going to be doing is we want to give all of the control to the guest as well, so they'll be able to play, and they'll be able to, and if it has sound or music, I know that GIFs don't, but if we create video with sound or music, then they can also decide whether they want audio played or not. So we're giving a little bit of more control to the guest this way, but at the same time we are reducing the size of what gets streamed or played on our site. All right, well, thank you everyone so much. If you have any questions, let me know. I will work on the template, and I will be sending you kind of like the parameters in the template, and that is it for today.
Thanks, Christine.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice week, guys, if I don't see you.